Namaste students, I hope you all are well. So today we will start with the new chapter, that is chapter number 6, molecular basis of inheritance. In this chapter we will discuss about the genetic material, replication, transcription, translation, genetic code, etc. So let's start with the genetic material. Now what is genetic material? Genetic material means if suppose any substance, it carries the biological information in the coded form. Okay, biological information in the coded form, and it can transfer it from one generation to the next generation. So that is considered as the genetic material. Now genetic material in most of the organism, it is considered as DNA. DNA, it is considered as genetic material in most of the organisms. And RNA, it is considered as genetic material in some viruses. So now let's discuss DNA in detail. Now first of all, what is the difference between the DNA and the RNA? What is the full form of the DNA? That is deoxyribonucleic acid. And what is RNA? That is ribonucleic acid. Okay, deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA, that is ribonucleic acid. Both DNA and RNA, they are polynucleotides. They are polynucleotides. Now what are polynucleotides? Polynucleotides means that more than one nucleotides when present. So that is known as polynucleotides. Okay, so when so many nucleotides that are present, it means that nucleotides that are the monomer in case of DNA and RNA, and nucleotides, they join together to form the polynucleotide. Now what's the difference if both of them they are polynucleotide? So in case of DNA, what are present? Pentose sugar, and this pentose sugar, that is deoxyribose. As DNA, it is composed of sugar, base, okay, and phosphate, three components that are present in every nucleotide. So the sugar here, that is deoxyribose, and here in case of RNA, this is ribose sugar. Ribose sugar is present, and if suppose we will see the structure, then what is the difference in the structure? H upon OH, H upon H, then H upon OH, H, CH2OH. So this is first, second position, then third, fourth and fifth. So that's why this is pentose sugar, because 5 carbon atoms that are present in it. And in case of ribose sugar also, it is also 5 carbon atom. It consists of 5 carbon atoms. So OH, H, then H, OH, H, OH, CH2OH, and upon H. Now what is the difference in both of them? This, that in the second position, here OH group that is present, and here only H that is present. Because of this OH group, ribose sugar, that is more reactive, it makes the RNA more reactive and less stable. And here as only H that is present, so it is less reactive, it makes the DNA less reactive and more stable. Now what are the other differences in case of DNA and RNA? That in case of DNA, when the base pairing that is present, so thymine that is present. But in case of RNA, in place of thymine, uracil that is present. Okay, so deoxyribonucleic acid, ribonucleic acid, deoxyribose sugar that is present, ribose sugar is present, and on the second position of the carbon atom OH group that is present, and it makes it more reactive and less stable, and here it makes it less stable and less reactive and more stable, and thymine that is present, but in place of thymine uracil base that is present. Next we will study about the structure of DNA. DNA, it consists of two chains. It is a right helical structure present over a common axis. This is representing a common axis. And what are these? These two chains that are the deoxyribonucleotide chains, and they runs in opposite direction, means 5 prime to 3 prime, and the another one 5 prime to 3 prime. Okay, so these chains that are anti-parallel, they run in anti-parallel direction, means one from 5 prime to 3 prime and the another one from the 3 prime to 5 prime. Next is polarity. If you will see the polarity of both the chains, that is different, means one chain is having 5 prime end and the another is having the 3 prime end. And here also you can see the one chain is having the 5 prime end and the another one is having the 3 prime end. Okay, now let's discuss with the bases. So this DNA chain, it consists of nitrogenous bases. Okay, so what are the components of the DNA? Components of DNA. As all of you know that DNA, it consists of nucleotides. Okay, and these nucleotides together, then they will make up the DNA. It means these nucleotides, they will act as a monomer, and DNA, it acts as a polymer. Now these nucleotides, they consist of three components: pentose sugar, then nitrogenous base, and phosphate group. Okay, pentose sugar, nitrogenous bases, and phosphate group. Now nitrogenous bases, they are also of two types. What are they? That are purines and pyrimidines. Purines and pyrimidines. Next is that how they are linked together. How they linked together? If we will see the structure of one nucleotide that is present in DNA. So this is pentose sugar. This structure is having 5 carbon atoms, so that's why it is known as the pentose sugar. So on the first position here, first carbon atom, what is present here? Base that is linked by the glycosidic linkage. Which linkage that is present? Glycosidic linkage that is present here. Then this is the second position, so H will be present because this here the deoxyribose sugar that is present, so that's why I have written H here. On the third position, H, OH, I am showing only the one nucleotide here. Okay, that how these components of the nucleotides that are present. So on the fifth position here, CH2, here phosphate group that is present. This is third position and this is fourth and this is CH2OH. With the CH2OH means here on the fifth position phosphate group that is present by the ester bond. This bond is known as ester bond. Okay, it means that between the base and the sugar, which bond that is present? Glycosidic linkage that is present, and between the phosphate and the sugar, ester bond that is present. Now we will see about the purines and the pyrimidines. Purines, they are of adenine and guanine. It is represented by A and it is by G. And pyrimidines, they are represented by cytosine and thiamine. So cytosine by C and thiamine by T. Okay. Purines, they are represented by adenine and guanine. Pyrimidines by cytosine and thiamine. And I told you that in case of RNA, in place of thiamine, what is present? Uracil, and uracil it is represented by U. Now about the hydrogen bonds, these bases that are linked with the hydrogen bonds. So hydrogen bonds that are present between the bases, A means the purines, like A with T by the double hydrogen bonds and C with G by the triple hydrogen bonds. A, it form the double hydrogen bonds with the T and C with G. So triple hydrogen bonds that are present in between the C and G. Now all these nucleotides and these bases, now I will make in this double helix. This is one spiral turn from here to here. Okay, like this, one spiral turn. What is the dimension of this? 3.4 nanometer. 3.4 nanometer of one spiral turn. It consists of 10 base pairs. How many base pairs that are present? 10 base pairs that are present in this. Now we will draw A suppose with T, then C with G, G with C, T with A, G with C, C with G, A with T. Now I told you that these bases that are linked with sugar, so we will show it with sugar molecule. Okay, here also, like this. Then here S, S, sugar that is represented by S. Okay. Now these sugar molecules, they are linked together by the phosphate molecule. Like this, phosphate, phosphate, in this manner. So these are linked by the phosphate molecule. Now you can see here that this structure. Okay, sugar, phosphate, sugar, and here base that is present. Base that is linked with the sugar on the first position of the carbon atom by the glycosidic linkage, and sugar, and between the sugar and the phosphate, which bond that is present? Yes, ester bond that is present. Okay, and between the bases, which bond that is present? Hydrogen bonds that are present in between the bases, in between the two bases. So always the purines, they will base pair with the pyrimidines, as the adenine that is a purine, so it will bind with the thymine, which is a pyrimidine. Now next is about the dimensions. The diameter, that is 2 nanometer, and if we will talk about the distance between the two bases like G and T, or C or G, any two bases, then what are the dimensions? That is 0.34 nanometer. It is 0.34 nanometer. Now see here, there are two sugar molecules that are present. Two sugar molecules that are present in the DNA, and how they are linked together means one nucleotide, how it is linked with the second nucleotide. As I told you that the bases that are linked on the first position of the pentose sugar. Okay, so this is adenine and this is cytosine. So this adenine, it is linked over the first position, first carbon atom of the sugar molecule, pentose sugar, and here also first carbon atom, and this is pentose sugar, and on the second position what is present? Only the H that is present, it means deoxyribose sugar that is present, and this linkage is glycosidic linkage. This linkage is glycosidic linkage, and here also this linkage is between the base and the sugar. This is glycosidic linkage. Now next is that between the two nucleotides, means between the two sugar molecule, which bond that is present? That is phosphodiester bond that is present. How? Because these sugar molecule, they are linked with the phosphate group. As I told you that fifth position of the pentose sugar, it is linked with the phosphate group, and this phosphate group, it is linked with the third position of the second sugar molecule. Then again, like this sugar molecule here, over the fifth position, it is linked with the phosphate group, and this phosphate group, it is linked with the third position of the sugar molecule. So in this manner they are linked together. Now here one ester bond that is present here and one ester bond that is present here. Okay, so two ester bonds that are present, one ester bond that is present between the phosphate molecule and the sugar molecule, and here also between the sugar molecule and the phosphate molecule. So how many total ester bonds? That is two ester bonds that are present, so that's why this bond is known as phosphodiester bond. Which bond? Phosphodiester bond that is present between the two sugar molecules. Okay. Okay, glycosidic bond here, and here phosphodiester bond that is present. Now next is, this is carbon 5 prime end, and here this is carbon 3 prime end. Okay, carbon 3 prime end that is present, and carbon 5 prime end that is present. I told you that the polarity that is different of the two chains means one chain is having the 5 prime end polarity, and the second means the opposite side of the same chain is having the 3 prime end. Okay, so why the polarity that is 5 prime, and what do you mean by this? It means that over the 5th position, if suppose 5th carbon atom that is free here, it is not linked with the another sugar molecule, so that end is known as carbon 5 prime end, means it is free on the 5 prime end. And here also, if suppose the carbon 3 prime end is there, it means that on the 3rd position of the sugar molecule, it is not linked with the another sugar molecule, means just above that it is not linked with it. Now next is about the diameter of the DNA. Okay, that why only the purines that are linked with the pyrimidines? Why the purines they will not link with the purines, and the pyrimidines they will not link with the pyrimidines? It is because of the diameter 2 nanometer. Now the diameter of the DNA that is 2 nanometer. Suppose this is 2 nanometer diameter. The purines that are of this structure means 9 carbon atoms that are present in purine, and in pyrimidine it has 6 carbon atoms. Okay, so because of the diameter having only 2 nanometer, so only one purine and one pyrimidine it can adjust here. If suppose the 2 purines that are present, okay, if suppose the 2 purines that are present, so it will be too wide to adjust, means if suppose 2 purines that are present in DNA chain, then it will be too wide, it will come out of the DNA. And if suppose 2 pyrimidines that are present, then it will be too narrow to make the hydrogen, means the space that is not enough to make the hydrogen bonds with each other. They are not able to make the hydrogen bonds with each other. So that's why, because of the diameter, only the purines they will base pair with the pyrimidines. Now next we will discuss about the Chargaff's rule. And this model of DNA, it is also known as the Watson and Crick model. Okay, because Watson and Crick they proposed the DNA model. Yes, Chargaff's rule. Now what is Chargaff's rule? According to the Chargaff's rule, all the purines that are equal to the pyrimidines, means the amount of A, it is equal to the D, and the amount of C, it is equal to the amount of G. And second is A plus all the amount of purines. So what are purines? A plus G, and it is equal to C plus T. Okay, the amount of purines they are equal to the amount of pyrimidines. And third is A plus T ratio G plus C. This ratio it is different in all the species, means all the species, they have the different ratio of A plus T upon G plus C, and it helps us to tell about the classification also. Means the same or the closely related species, they have almost the same ratio, the nearby ratio. And the fourth is that the sugar and the phosphate, sugar and phosphates, they are present in a constant ratio, means they are present in equal proportion, present in equal proportions, means equal amounts they are present. Now look here in this diagram, sugar and phosphate, they are present on the backbone of the deoxyribonucleotides, and the bases that are present inside, and this DNA, it runs clockwise in the anti-parallel direction.